I'm not a fucking wizard!
But yeah, the whole point of this, guys, is to raise, it's a crazy test, so I'm going to need your guys' help. If you didn't know, motor neuron is a disease that like, eats away at your muscles and your body and everything like this, and it just kills you. My grandma got diagnosed 3 years ago, and when she got diagnosed, it was like, she got diagnosed with something. It was like, okay,
I'm not a fucking
bad,
wizard!
I didn't know how bad, like, on the people around it would be. Ethernet, thanks for subscribing, or internet, thanks for subscribing, welcome aboard. Like, we had no idea how bad it would be on the people around us. Like, especially, husband, my granddad and everything, because her muscles just started to die. At first it was like her back muscles were going, so she was like hunched back over a little bit, to start off with, which was awful. And then, like, we were trying to, and then she'd sit down, and she always just felt comfortable when she was sat down, and she wanted to go out like bike riding and do stuff like this, and she just simply couldn't. And then we then started to notice that, like, her lip muscles were like going, and her throat, so she couldn't really talk. So when she was talking, it sounded a bit like mumbling, but you could hear what she was saying. And the saddest thing about all of it, though, is that in her head, she was all there, 110%. She had every memory she could think of. She had everything. She knew who was in front of her. She wasn't forgetful or anything like that. She wanted to do everything she could possibly do, but her body just wouldn't let her because it was shutting down around her. And it got to a point where she literally couldn't stand up. She couldn't grip her hands anymore or anything like that. She couldn't. She couldn't talk, so we got one of the machines so she could, use that to talk with, but she was old, and getting used to something like that when you're old is not very good. So it was just really hard to do. Like, they got a stair lift in the house so she could walk up and down stairs, and as horrible as it is to talk about, like, her bowels started to go, because, that's all muscles as well. So as her bowels went, she literally couldn't control any of that either. So it was just like, it rendered the use, like, she couldn't go out in public or anything like that. Because of that fact, like, she just simply didn't know when she'd need the bathroom or something, and there was never any, like, stupid incidents if someone's gonna be rude and talk about it like that, but there's never any incidents where we went out and she shat herself. I know it sounds funny to say that, but there was never like an incident like that, because she then just became like someone who just stayed indoors, and I'd always go around and see her. And the best thing about you guys especially is that when I started my job, she knew about it and she knew it was going successful for me, but she never really knew how successful it was going until like towards the end. Like, she knew I was doing well, but then it's like I managed to meet her as it went on, and my job progressed, because she was getting worse as my job was getting better in a sense. Like, it was nice for her to see at least that before she passed that I'd made something out of myself, because I went to school, did college, didn't really know what I wanted to be, and then I became like a YouTuber and stuff like that, and she never really understood it. But then, like, over time she was gradually understanding it, and then when I was taking it on as a full-time job and everything, you could see that she accepted towards the end, that she was like, well, I'm like really proud of you about what you've done and everything. And it was just dead good that she was there to be able to see it, because I hear a lot of people saying, like, I wish they were here to see what I've done and everything, and I was actually really happy that my grandma was around to be able to see that, because, man, it was awful. And the saddest thing is that before it went down, it's like she actually she got pneumonia, and I think, if I'm right in saying this, it was the pneumonia triggered the disease. It's so random, and the healthiest of people can have it, and it'll just hit you. And it usually takes something to trigger it for you to be then, to have it. So, like, for example, my grandma got pneumonia, and then once they got rid of that, she was still ill. So they was like, why is she still ill? So when they checked into it, they found out it was motor neuron. It doesn't run in her family or anything. No one's ever had it before. It just came from nowhere. So it was just like, what the hell could have caused it? My granddad, obviously being an old man, was like, oh, it's the doctors, they've done something, they've given it to her and all that, and they've caught it through doing this. And I was just like, on the internet researching, I was like, Granddad, no, they haven't, mate. It's just, it can happen like this. Something can simply trigger it. And he didn't want to accept it and everything. But when it happened, I don't know whether she fainted or fell over or something, because her muscles were so weak. But she went to the hospital, and my dad messaged me. My mum messaged me, and she was like, "Your grandma's not well. She's in the hospital. Like, you've got to prepare yourself because she might not make it." And I was just like, how would she not make it? She's got 2 years to live, and it's been like 6 months or a year into it or something. And for some reason, all I could do was this. Don't think I'm being wrong here, but like, all I could do was like laugh inside at myself, because I didn't think I could take the situation seriously. And as weird as it sounds, like, I couldn't mentally prepare myself. Like, I was like, I've never lost a relative, I've never lost anyone in my life or anything like that I've been around. So when it was like I was on the way to the hospital, I was like, what do I expect? Do I expect her hooked up to a load of wires and all that? And I'm just like, she'll be okay, you know, she's just gonna get through this patch or something. But then as I was getting more and more towards the hospital and like about to walk into the room, I was like, I wonder how I'm gonna feel, I wonder how I'm gonna see, because I've never seen someone in hospital in that state. And then when I got in there, my grandma was just hooked up machines everywhere, like breathing machines, everything like that. It was like the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. And she was just sat there in a bed, and she could see me, she knew me and everything. And she wasn't there and then about to pass away or anything. But it was like the saddest thing that I ever remember seeing. And then I was just like, fuck, you know, there's nothing I can do with all the success that I've done for my job. I can't save my grandma. So it was just like, fuck. So I prepared myself massively.
I'm not a fucking wizard!
To see her. And then I just couldn't handle it. Really. Couldn't.
I'm not a fucking
I'm
wizard!
a massive fucking crybaby now, but I don't really talk about it.
Go fuck yourself!
So, yeah, that was that.
Go fuck yourself!
Chicken's good, by the way. So, yeah. Oh, man. But like, it just got worse from there. Like, it just got worse. And then I got a phone call off my oh no, my dad came into my office when I was I think I'd even just stopped live streaming. I'd just finished making a video, and then my dad came in the room and said that sorry. It was just like, your mum's been on the phone, and my dad and my mum don't speak, so the fact that...
I'm not a fucking wizard!
At least that's light in the situation. So, the fact that my dad had spoke to my mum and found out that my grandma wasn't well, my dad was like, listen mate,
Go fuck yourself!
your grandma's really bad. There's ambulances around there. And,
I'm not a fucking wizard!
this might be the last time you see her. So, literally, got round as quick as I could. There was an ambulance outside, there was paramedics upstairs, ran straight upstairs, just to see her. Like,
go fuck yourself!
If she would have passed away, if she would have passed away without seeing me, I would have never lived with myself. So
go fuck yourself!
I went upstairs as quick as I could. I just looked at her. There was paramedics everywhere, and she still was awake. I could still see her.
Go fuck yourself!
She saw me, and I was just happy that she saw me. And then I knew I needed to get out of the room because they needed the space.
I'm not a fucking
Went
wizard!
downstairs whilst they were doing it, and then they came downstairs and said she's gone unconscious. After I'd gone downstairs.
Go fuck yourself!
Sorry.
Go fuck yourself!
So she'd gone unconscious, and
go fuck yourself!
I was just like, fuck. So all the family was just panicking, like wondering what they could do to help her. And then they said they were going to take her outside to the ambulance.
I'm not a fucking wizard!
Take her outside to the ambulance and see like what they could do is if they could use a machine in there to resuscitate her.
I'm not a fucking wizard!
They had to carry her downstairs, and she was gone. She was just completely gone. She
go fuck yourself!
Completely gone. And it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. She was just completely...
I'm not a fucking
gone.
wizard!
They were trying to hold her back, and her head was just falling all over the place. Like, she was completely gone. And I
Go
just
fuck
knew there and
yourself!
then that I'd lost my grandma. And I saw her for the last time with like tubes stick down her throat, everything like that. And that was the last time I saw her.
I'm not a fucking
They
wizard!
took her into the van and then they just, you know, they said they were taking her to the hospital, but she was gone. I knew it. Everyone knew it. She knew she was gone. There was
Go fuck
nothing we could
yourself!
do. And even if she was watching Downton Abbey, a favourite show, she was watching that.
Go fuck yourself!
Such a shitty thing. But I saw her before she passed away, which I was pretty stoked about.
I'm not
You
a
know,
fucking wizard!
imagine if I would have gone, oh, I'm just finished my live stream or something like that. I wouldn't have seen her. And if I wouldn't have run upstairs, I wouldn't have seen her either. And it was just
I'm not
scary
a
that
fucking
between the gaffers
wizard!
being up there and seeing her eyes open and seeing her to seeing her on the stairs in Connor was just horrible. And then we just went.
Go fuck yourself!
So he's just said there's nothing we can do. So.
Go fuck yourself!
That's about that, really. So, like the fact that this disease exists and you can't.
Go fuck
do anything
yourself!
about it. Like the scary thing now is, you know, sometimes if someone's mum or family member gets it, it can
Go
become
fuck yourself!
genetic if it's hidden in like your genes and stuff like that. Because you can't really see it until it appears and stuff. So like now the scary thing is like, does my mum or dad have? Does
Go
my
fuck
mum have it?
yourself!
Therefore, if my mum has it, do me and my sister have it? And it's like, hopefully not. But it's just one fuck of a disease, man. It just kills you. It like, you know, like if you have
Go fuck
cancer,
yourself!
and it's absolutely terrible, but they can try things to try and save you. You know, there's chemotherapy. There's all sorts of things to try and save it. And I know some cases it's just not possible.
I'm not a
At least you
fucking
can
wizard!
almost try and get through certain things to try and beat it, but not motor neuron, man. Not motor neuron. It fucking eats you and it
I'm
kills
not a
you. It spits your
fucking
body out.
wizard!
Whilst you're there with your mental state and there's nothing you can do about it. So, like, I just remember being with my grandma and she'd just be sat there because she couldn't move.
Go
And I'd
fuck
just have
yourself!
conversations with her and just treat her normally rather than be like, are you okay, okay, just to speak to her normally because that's what she wanted. And yeah, that's that, man.
Go fuck
So,
yourself!
apart from being a massive pansy and being a wimp, that's that. It's my grandma.
Go fuck
I do
yourself!
anything. I said I give up my everything. I give up my YouTube. I give up my house. I do everything, man. I give every aspect of my life.
Go fuck yourself!
To have had a back, not even just to have a back, because she would still be in a bad state. I'd do anything. I'd do anything for it to have been cured or not.
Go fuck yourself!
Like, it's just horrible. She was great. My grandma would be fucking stoked now. She'd seen I've been alright. I've managed to get a house for myself and stuff like that. Like, I moved into my own house when I was like,
Go fuck
20.
yourself!
But she didn't get to see it, so whatever, you know, fuck it.
I'm not a fucking
Chicken's
wizard!
cold now anyway, so yeah, that's motor neuron. It's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. So,
Go fuck
you know,
yourself!
even if we raise all this money for charity, it's great that we can raise it, but it won't cure it. I know it won't cure it.
I'm
but
not a fucking
at least it's
wizard!
the little thing that I can help and do towards. So yeah, motor neuron disease is a cunt. There you go. But sorry.
Go fuck yourself!
Thank you for everyone who's subscribed and donated to it, because like I said, it all goes over and goes to the pot. But that's that.
I'm not a fucking wizard!
I can't tell the story without hearing I'm a fucking wizard. Right. So anyway, I got some stuff
I'm
I
not
need
a
to clean up now,
fucking
guys.
wizard!
I'm gonna clean up the sides, get my shit together, and then I'll probably stream some games in a bit. But yeah, I've got to wash all this up and everything.
I'm
and
not
clean
a
my cold
fucking
chicken, so
wizard!
thank you to everyone showing up and being awesome. But yeah, I'll just get my ass together and get my ass in gear and see
Go
you guys
fuck yourself!
see me who I normally am in a second. But yeah, there you go. I'm gonna have to tell a story one time. Won't I? You know, even when I was typing the thing on the website, it was pretty bad. But
I'm not a
I could say
fucking
it in
wizard!
person, it's pretty fucking awful. So there you go. Alright, well, I'm gonna end it here, guys. So I'll catch you guys all
I'm
later.
not a
Alright?
fucking wizard!
I'll be streaming in a bit, so catch us later and goodbye. My chicken's freezing cold.